Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we'll be learning about AWS Code Build Cache System. Now, before getting started, I want to let you know what are the options we have. So if you come to this page where we just go to Google, normally how will find this kind of documentation. Search about AWS Code Build Cache, and you will find it here. This page itself about the caching basics. Okay. Now, in cache, we have mainly two options. Amazon S3 caching, like you can literally store any folder in S3 and pull it back in the previous place, and local caching. In local caching, we have Git caching, we have Docker caching, and we have like custom cache mode if you want to like cache a custom folder. So yeah, we have all these options. Now let's come back to our AWS Code Build project. Now, how will find up AWS Code Build service? Just go to, log in into AWS console and look for AWS Code Build. Yep, yeah. Okay, now let's create a AWS project, Code Build project, and call it Code Build Cache Test project. And okay, if you want to enable build batch, it's up to you. Enable concurrent build if you want to restrict the number of concurrent builds. Now is the important part. Source provider, you can have S3, you can have AWS Code Commit, GitHub, Bitbucket, GitHub Enterprise. It's up to you. For this tutorial, I'll be using AWS Code Commit. Repository will be the code deploy demo, and let's go down. Branch will be master. Additional configuration, you don't need anything. Operating system will be using Ubuntu, runtime standard, and image will be the latest one. Now privilege mode, yeah. If you are going to build, use this AWS Code Build for the Docker builds, you must enable this flag. Okay, otherwise it is not going to work. Now let's have it. Service load. Let's create a new service load for this one. Additional configuration. I think defaults are okay. Environment variables, we need to input this. Okay, so for this demo, we need to create a ECR repo. So let's start that. While this is happening, let me show you the first example. So first we will try without the cache. So build spec without the cache looks like this. We are just going to make a Docker build and push the changes, push the codes, that image into the ECR repo. So for that, you can see here we are using certain environment variables: AWS account ID, AWS default region. That's it. Okay, and the image repo name and the tag name. These are the environment variables you're using, and we will be just adding those in the as environment variables here. So let's do that. But before that, let's create a ECR. Let's take content registry. So as we have made the project name as Code Build Cache Test, so we'll be using the same name. So Code Build Cache Test, right? Okay, and Cache Test. Okay, it's only lowercase character. So Cache Test. AWS Code Build Cache Test. Now I think you're good to go. Get the repository and AWS Code Build Cache Test. This is the repository name. If you click on the view push commands, you will see all kind of commands here. So Docker build -t and all this to make the build commands. We are mainly interested in this part. So this is the, so we'll add one by one environment variables. First is the AWS account ID here. Then we want to add the AWS default region. Then we want to add the repo name, image repo name, and I think we have to add the tag name, and that's it. Okay, let's put the values. You can put the values from here itself. This is the first the account ID, then this is the region, then This is the repo name, and this is the tag. Now, tag could be anything as you want. Here I'm going with the latest tag. We have added the environment variables and we are all good to go. Here you will see the build specification. Now we have the build specification file. You are calling it build spec without cache. So just mention it explicitly. Now I think you are all good. Now if you want to enable the cache in build local cache system, you can enable from here. Here in this additional configuration part. But let's try without the cache, and then after we'll try enabling the cache and see what's the difference in this. So let's create the build project. Okay, this may take a few seconds, so just be patient on that part. Okay, the project is created now, and let's start a build. As soon as the build is done and the like after post build, we will see the image getting pushed here. Let's wait for that, and you will track how much time is taking, and like before how much time taking, and after we enable the caching how much time taking. That way you will understand better. You will see all the logs here, how is happening. Okay, you will see error here. See, the command didn't work because we didn't give it a necessary access here. So let's give the necessary access. Click on the build details and go to service role. And all you have to do is just give the build role ECR access. So search for repository keyword or registry. Yep, you can see Amazon EC2 container registry full access, and that is a policy. All done. Now just come here and retry the build. So let's see, after retrying the build, it should work fine now. While it's happening, let's see the code. So in codes, you might see that you are logging in the pre-build phase. We are logging, and then we are making the build here, and then tagging the local build with the remote repo, and then we are pushing it in the post build phase. We are pushing to the remote repository. That's what we are all doing here. You can see the phase details here. Just wait for a few seconds, and few seconds, it might take few minutes. Let's see. And this is all actually before cache, and we'll see the performance improvement after cache. Okay, you may see now the Node.js pulling is happening as showing here in the Docker file. It's a big Docker file I have made to show you the example properly. If it's small, you might not see the difference, but if it's a big Docker file, then you will see the difference. That's why I have a lot of packages and all. Okay, so let's see what phase is. Right now it's a build phase. Let's wait for the build to happen. Okay, now the build is succeeded. Now let's see how much time it took. So for the build part, it took 125 seconds. Reveal, it took 5 seconds. So in total, if you come here, you'll find it here. So in total, it took 3 minutes and 59 seconds. So kind of 4 minutes. Now it's time to enable the build cache. So if you would like to enable the cache system, you have to go to artifacts. First go to edit and then artifacts, of course. And then you will see additional configuration. There you will see no cache. So instead of that, you have two options. So AWS S3 and local. So let's first try the local, and then I will show the S3 cache also. Click on the local. If you enable the local, you will see on selecting local, you will see the three options. So Docker layer cache. So that's caching existing Docker layers, so that can be reused. Require privilege modes. That's why I enabled the privilege mode at the beginning when creating the project. But remember, it's okay. If it's the same host, then it's going to work. If not the same host, it might not work. That's why I have good solution for that. I'll be showing you the solution just in a few seconds. And there is a source cache. It will make sure the source will be, suppose you have already done a build and the code is already there and you make some change, only the change will get pulled in the build. You don't have to pull the entire code. It's good if you have a large code base. And custom cache, if you have particular one or maybe multiple folders you want to cache, you can have this one enabled. So you can enable that also. But you don't need for the normal Docker build, it's not needed. For the custom build, I will show how to do it. So update the artifact. Now, since we are using like build spec also change, I have one build spec with the cache system. So you can see build spec cache Docker. Here it's a example with the cache system. So what I'm doing here, I'm just before the build part, only additional line you can see this one and this one. So so here what I'm doing is I'm pulling the changes, pulling the exact original image from the ECR before making the build. So the local system will have the current image ready, so that when the build happens, build will use the cache from the remote repository itself. Okay, you can see it here. We are pulling it and then we are caching from the remote repo itself. Okay, and then we are making a new build, whatever changes we have with that one into a new image and tag. Okay, and then you are tagging the changed one into the exact repository, the previously pulled one, that, or you might say that we are just pointing that to the original remote repo. And then in the post build phase where the build is done and everything is done, we are just pushing the changes in the remote repo. That means the AWS ECR where we have the particular tag. Now let's come back here and we'll edit this. Let's put the file name properly here. So the file name is now build spec cache docker. So let's just copy the file name properly and let's change it into build spec. Let's see, it previously took 4 minutes. Now after enable the cache and everything, let's start the build, and you will see the remarkable difference between without enabling the cache and with enabling the cache. So you might see the phase details here. For more better comparison, I will just open the previous one in a new tab. Okay, so you'll see the difference. What's the actual difference here with build? With build cache and without the build cache. Let's see. Provisioning part we cannot guarantee because it's up to AWS and based on the available resources. But what we can control is the pre-build phase, the build phase, and the post-build phase. That's we have the more control over. So let's look for that. You can see the provisioning took time. That is fine. It's not up to us, as I said. Let's look at the pre-build phase. Now previously the pre-build phase only took 5 seconds. But remember, pre-build phase we are not pulling the image before. That's why now the pre-build phase will take some more time. But that is fine. It's justifiable, right? Because we are pulling the image before. But the build phase, it took around 125 seconds. And the post build took 62 seconds. That's gonna change. So just wait for that. Okay, so you might see now pre-build phase took 40 seconds. Now the most important part, see the build part took only 3 seconds. How amazing it is. Previously the build itself was taking 125 seconds. Now it's taking only fraction of that, only 3 seconds. And the post build section is taking only 1 second to upload. Previously it was around 62 seconds. So that's remarkably huge difference you might see now. So if you go to the main build project, and there you see previously it was taking 3 minutes 59 seconds, which is 4 minutes, and now it's taking only 1 minute 31 seconds. It's way faster. Now let me show you the other options to enable the cache. So if you go to the edit section and then the artifacts, you can just enable a particular folder also caching. So for that, what you have to do in the existing build spec, you just have to add few lines. So these are the lines you need to add. If you want to catch particular files, you can simply add this lines here. This is like cache, and what path you want to cache is you can add the cache here. Okay, so add this line. We are not actually utilizing this, but if you, instead of Docker, if you just running actual build, and there it will be much more utilized. Okay, so let's save it. Now if you run the build again, it will be same time because you're not utilizing it, but if you are not utilizing Docker, that will be very useful. Okay, now I have shown you using the local system, right? Start the build and so, I mean, it will not much difference, but you'll see the success. Okay, now while this is happening, let me show you another option, that is the go to edit, click on artifacts, and this is very important in case if you have larger file from the outside of like internet outside. Instead of that, what you can do is just upload that big file, a big chunk of file in S3, and from the S3 you can pull the files and folders. So let's say, let's create a one folder here, one S3 bucket just for this cache storage. So go for S3. Again, this is when you have large file you download from the internet, like external AWS resources out of AWS. In that case, it takes some time and it goes like outside internet, right? Which is costly for you. You can save that cost and the time by creating a bucket, and let's say AWS code build cache test. Then let me just show you pretty quickly. Okay, so let's see. So AWS go to build cache test. You can see it here. So, and if you come here and let's refresh it. Then click on the AWS tree, then AWS hold bit cache test. Cache prefix, if you want a particular prefix, you can add it. If you want like automatically delete it after few life cycle, you can add the expiration also. Let's, for this sake of the simplicity, let's not do that. It will just store the AWS S3 cache in our S3, and before in the pre-build phase, it will just pull the changes and override in a local file system. That's what it will do. I'm in the artifact. Okay, now we will make a change here in the build spec itself. So we have an example called cache folder. You might see the same things. So you can see here, instead of doing some Docker build, we are just simply making that without Docker. We are installing the packages, we are doing all the things that needed to run the application, and you are caching it for the future use. So let's do that. The file name is build spec cache folder. So let's copy that file name and here. Let's wait for that, and we can just run the build now. Let's start the build. The build cache is the build is going on now. All the difference is that after generating, like installing all the modules and npm things, it will store the cache in that AWS S3 bucket, and that's the most important part here. Right now you can see is nothing here, right? Absolutely nothing. Let's see. We have to make one thing sure, that this project role has the S3 access. Let's add it if you have not added yet. Click on the service role, and there add the S3 access. Okay, let's see how the build is going on. It will take some time. So install phase done, the pre-build phase. You can see here the build is done, everything is done. You can see everything is done and it's uploading to S3. Now it looks like the cache is uploading S3. You just refresh the page. You'll see the build cache here, and if you see here how much time it took, it took around 1 minute 20 seconds. So what if we run it again? Let's wait for that. So that's how we enable the caching in AWS code build, and it saves a lot of time for us. Okay, so make sure you use the AWS code build, and in your make sure you use the AWS code build in your actual projects. It will save a lot of time and a lot of efforts. Okay, it's also very cost effective, so make sure to use that. Also, I will be sharing the code in the GitHub, so just check the description section. In the first comment, it will be the repository link will be there. And don't forget to subscribe my channel. I'll be uploading more of this useful content as in upcoming weeks. So make sure to subscribe the channel and click on the bell icon. And you can reach out to me anytime via LinkedIn, by YouTube comments, and also I have created one Slack channel. You can find the link in the community section, or you may just reach me out if you want to join the group. Okay, let's wait for the build to happen. Wow, the build is done, and let's see how much time it took this time. You see, it took only 1 minute 1 second. So it's previously it took 1 minute 20 seconds, and it's a lot of improvement. That's due to the catcher. See how less it took time. That's why it's very it will be very useful to use the catcher system, and I've shown you how to use it. So go ahead and use it. Okay, thank you everyone. Wait for the next one. Okay, thank you.